Welcome back to Nemesis. We're sitting here in the broken storage room, continuing on with our solo playthrough. And so we're slimed as well. We're trying to get rid of that. First thing we do, of course, on our turn is we're going to draw up to 5 action cards. We have 1 card. I've been hanging on to the suppression fire card for so long. We're going to be drawing up 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. And let's take a look at our hand. We have a search card. We have reconnaissance. Ooh, I like that one. We have basic repairs, rest, and the suppressive fire. So up next, of course, we need to perform our actions. So we're going to just be performing actions until we pass. So let me do some thinking. I want to get over here to the cockpit and at least take a look and see where the ship is headed. We've lost one of our escape pods already, which is bad news. We only have 1 left. So yeah, we're on a bit of a mission here, and we haven't even encountered any intruders yet, and I'm sure that's about to change. Alright, let me readjust the camera, think about what we want to do for my turns, and let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing I actually want to do is I want to play the search card. We're just playing this by itself. We can pick up 2 cards of the color of the room you're in, rotate the search counter down 1, and we get to keep 1 of them. So we have 1 search left in the storage room. Now you can search in a broken room, you just can't use the room's ability. So we're going to set it to 0. This time we're going to be taking 2 cards off of the red deck. So we haven't taken any cards from there yet, so we'll give that a bit of a shuffle. And you can carry any number of items, but only 2 heavy items. We haven't found any extra heavy items yet. Alright, and we're going to grab a couple off the top of this deck. And we're going to see what it is we found. So we actually have an energy charge right on. One use only energy charge. Fully load ammo for your energy weapon. We have an energy pulse rifle, so that's cool. We could keep that. So yeah, we'll be keeping it because we just found another energy charge. Alright, so we can use energy charge. That is so cool. Happy about that. That was our first action. The second one I want to perform is reconnaissance. Move to any neighboring room without making any noise. We have to pay 1 extra card, so I'm going to actually pay the rest card with the reconnaissance, which means we can move right into the piloting or the cockpit here without making any noise rolls. We don't have to. It's excellent. Oh dear. I don't know. I kind of want to check the coordinates. We're kind of running out of time. I'd have to spend 2 cards to check the coordinates of this room. But I think I am just going to pass now because I want to leave at least a couple of cards in my hand, basic repair and the suppression, just in case we get into trouble with an alien showing up. So that's basically the end of the first sort of turn. I'm getting a little nervous. Now we're going into the event phase, which is move the time tracker. So let's go ahead, move the time tracker down 1. And our time tracker is ticking down. We're 12. We've just moved down to 11. Now, there is a red marker all the way after the 1. And that means at that point in time, the ship is going to jump. Where it goes, whether it blows up, at this point, we don't know. Alright, up next, in the order of the event phase, there's no self-destruct. Intruder attack, we don't have any intruders, there's no fire. We have to resolve an event card. So let me back the camera out. And we're going to get to an event card. Oh dear me, this game gets tense. Alright, event card. I've shuffled it up. What are we going to have for an event this time? Again, the top of the card, alien movement. We don't have any alien/intruders on the board. Nest. If the nest room is explored, it is not. Place a noise marker in each corridor that is connected to the nest. Do not place a noise marker if one is already present. Cool, so that, again, we dodged it because we haven't found the nest room yet. So we're still good to go, but we do have 1 more step, and that's the intruder bag development, and that is never really good. So I'm going to shuffle this up, and we're going to pull a token out of here, and we pull out an adult. And by pulling out an adult, what we need to do is adult token's going to go back in the bag, but everyone needs to make a noise roll. So that's kind of why I wanted to hang on to 2 cards. We might have an alien showing up here. Oh my gosh. So we're going to take our noise die. Now if we roll a 3, we're going to have our first encounter because we have No! Oh, and I'm in the cockpit. I don't want this. I don't want this. Roll a 2. Oh my goodness. Dodged that. So 2 is this corridor here. Alright, you can handle the noise there. Wow, except this room now has noise in either corridor. Yeah, you can see how the noise builds up. Whew. And the alien token goes back in the bag. That's the end of the full round. We're sitting here in the cockpit. Excellent. Alright, we're going to come right back, and we're going to have another full turn, or another full round, I should say, happening. So we're going to be starting by drawing up to 5 cards. Alright, so once again, I kind of get our player character board in here. We are slimed, which is not good. And we only have 1 card to draw. So we have 2 in our hand, we're drawing 1, which means I have to shuffle our discard cards, and we're going to be drawing 2 more, and that's going to be giving us our hand of 5 cards. Alright, so shuffle, shuffle, 2 more cards, draw deck, and now our hand for the next turn is going to be, we have Scavenging, we have Adrenaline, Interruption, Basic Repairs, and Suppressive Fire. All not super useful at the moment, but there are things we need to do in the cockpit. We want to know where the ship is headed, and we may have to change the coordinates to at least send it to Earth, because we lost one of our escape pods. That's not good. We have to survive as well as complete our objectives. We haven't looked at our objectives in a while, whoops, we have 2 of them. We don't have to pick one until we have a first encounter with an intruder. We either have to finish the game in an escape pod or the hibernatorium with an intruder egg, or we have to at least look at 2 intruder weaknesses. So we're going to have to take either an egg and a body to the laboratory, which we haven't even found in the ship yet, and analyze them, or we have to find the nest and grab an egg and get out of the ship with it. So, wow. Alright, we're going to come right back. So we basically have drawn up our cards, and now we're going to be doing actions. So let me think about what I want to do. We'll come back and start taking actions. Alright, so we're sitting here in the cockpit, and how the cockpit operates, you can do one of 2 things, one of 2 actions in here if there's no aliens in here. I don't believe you can do them with aliens in your face because you're fighting them, although that may not even be correct. Well, we can take a quick look here at the board itself, because it tells you in the cockpit. Check coordinates or set a destination. I guess you can do that with an alien in the area. So checking coordinates, secretly look at the coordinates card. After looking at it, place it back on the board. Or you can set destination. Move the destination marker to the chosen space on the destination track. So basically, we're going to be in the cockpit. We're going to check out where the ship is headed. So we have to pay 2 cards to do that. It takes a while to get in the computer system, mess around. So we're going to play the Scavenging card, the Interruption card. Discarding those, we get to check the coordinates. So right now we're going to destination B, and destination B is, oh great, we're headed for deep space. So what that means, if the ship jumps, it's going to head to deep space. Everyone aboard will die because it just gets lost in space. Where we want to go is Earth. We want to set the destination to D. So that gets me to my next action. I really hate doing it, but we're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna take the basic repairs and the adrenaline card. We're gonna spend those, and we're gonna set the ship to Earth. So now the ship is at least headed for Earth. Problem is, we don't know the condition of the engines. The engines may be borked, which means the ship's gonna jump and explode, because if 2 or more of the 3 engines are malfunctioning, when the ship jumps to hyperspace, it blows up and you die. So there's no way I can win the game that way. But I don't know what the condition of the engines are. They're way at the back of the ship. We either have to get all the way back there and check, or we have to find the engine room where we can check the status of the engines. Wow. And now I'm going to pass because I've done what I needed to do there. So okay, we've passed, and now we're going to move the time tracker. So let's get back to the time tracker and move it. Alright, and this time I wanted to get the jump marker in screen here. So we're going to go from 11 down to 10 on the time marker. If we get here, we jump the ship. We get here, we can go to the hibernatorium and the game. Alright, let's get back. It is up next, of course, in the event phase is the intruder attack. We don't have any, no fire damage. We're going to be drawing and resolving an event card, so Ike, so let's get to that. Okay, we're going to draw and resolve the lovely event card. Oh my goodness. Again, we have no intruders. We're not going to have any intruder movement. Life support failure. Yeehaw. Place a malfunction marker in each explored green room. Remove this event from the game and reshuffle the events deck, including the discard pile. Okay, so every green room is going to get a malfunction marker. We only have one. So that's not terrible, but we are going to have a malfunctioning. So now our canteen is broken, so we can't, there's nothing more to search in there. We can't use the canteen function. We can't use the storage room function. Keeping in mind, if we ever get 9 malfunction markers out on the rooms on the board, the ship explodes because it's just falling apart. We only have 2 so far. Not a big deal. But we do now need to take the event deck. We need to take the all shuffle or all draw deck and discards. I removed that 1 card from the game because it said to do so. We shuffle the event deck and we put it back. So that's the event phase. And now it is the intruder bag development. That's always a fun step. So let's reach into the bag. Let's see what we've got for intruder. We got we have an adult again. Oh crap! It's going to go back in the bag. We know that already. We have to roll for noise. Oh my gosh. We have noise in corridor 1 and 2. We have noise in 3. Let's roll a 4. Let's roll a 4. We roll a 1. We already have a noise token here. We'd add a second one. We don't add a second one. We actually take all the noise markers off of everything that is every corridor connected to the room. And now we have an encounter. And actually that adult was supposed to stay. I think it goes back in the bag, and now we have an encounter. My God! So we're gonna shake this up. Oh, let's not have the queen. We have a breeder. Holy crap! Okay, the breeder is extremely bad news. I'm going to leave the token out here. I'm going to have to go back into the box here, find the breeder. It's going to come out. It probably is going to get an attack on us, possibly. Oh man! So this is now the game gets ugly. Oh my God. So this is the breeder miniature. It's absolutely freaking huge. Smaller a little bit than the queen, but it is still absolutely nasty. Of course, it's the only one that we had in the bag, but here it is in the cockpit with us. We spent too much time goofing around the computer systems, setting the coordinates to Earth. It has showed up. So how does an encounter work? I have 1 card in my hand. And we look at the back of this token, and it's 4. So I would need to have 4 cards in my hand to not have a surprise attack. Well, how does a surprise attack work? We just are going to draw. I'm going to shuffle this. We have an entire intruder attack deck. We shuffle this up at the start of the game. Of course, I'm just doing it now because this is the first time we get an intruder. And after we do all this, of course, we have to pick our objective, and that's going to be tough because we don't even know where the nest is. So we get an intruder attack. So how does this work? Yes, it applies. So we take a look here. We look at which aliens it applies to. So it applies to adults, breeders, and the queen. It's a claw attack. The character suffers 2 light wounds and gets a contamination card. Ouch! So we're going to get 2 light wounds. I'm going to have to zoom down on the character, and we'll show you how that works. Oh my God, this is bad news. So over here we have the light wound and serious wound tracker. We get 2 light wounds from that attack. So it nailed us. We're at the 2 light wounds. If we ever get 1 more light wound, we're going to get 1 more serious wound. Now, fortunately for us, we don't take a serious wound, but we do get a contamination card. And the contamination cards are this deck right here. It's all these contamination cards. So I'm just going to give them a quick shuffle as I throw them on the floor. So actually, you know what? The one that flew onto the floor, that's the contamination card we're going to get. So how these things work is they have this funky, weird-looking blood thing on it. So you can't read the text underneath. You have to put it into the reader. This is going to go into our discard pile. We don't know if we're infected now or not. We may not be. But by the breeder attacking us and smacking us around, doing 2 light wounds to us, we have been slightly contaminated, possibly. Okay, that is going to basically end off the round, I believe, because we did the intruder bag development, which basically brought the breeder out into our face. So let me zoom out and wrap up our episode for today. Oh dear, this is not good. It's not good, but we do have the suppressive fire card, which means we can get away from this guy without him smacking on us again. So that's a good thing. And I'm going to leave his token out here with him, just because, you know, that's the alien that came out. Alright, so thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Nemesis. We're playing it solo. And we've got our first contamination card. The unfortunate thing about contamination cards as well, when they show up in your hand, they stay there. You cannot get rid of them unless you have items that can get rid of them, or unless you find rooms that you can rest in, or your rest card lets you scan them, try and get rid of them. It's all not good. So yeah, we're not in the greatest situation. At least we set the ship on a course for Earth. So that's one step in the right direction for us. We haven't found the nest. Oh, and I forgot. Yes, of course. When you get your first alien encounter, you have to decide which of the objectives you want to try to complete. I think we're going to just go ahead with a special delivery. Finish the game in an escape pod or the hibernatorium. We know we're going for Earth with an intruder egg. So we're going to keep this one. We're going to discard this one. We need to find the nest so we can find an intruder egg. That is now our mission. Our goal for the game. Are we going to pull it off? I have no idea. It's hard to say. So thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.